are here to talk about Bengals Steelers, okay? Mike Tomlin was asked at his press conference. Oh, they can't hear. You can't hear me? It's a bad sign.
A little muffled.
That's not good. Tomlin was asked at his press conference if he'd sit his starters if the Ravens lock up the AFC North in that early game. We were all over to start the week. I was in parts unknown talking to Sarah Ellison and the Ravens fan base view on this. But here's what Tomlin had to say.
I haven't pondered that at all, to be quite honest with you. That might be a thought for later in the week, but as I mentioned, I think it's significant how we go into this tournament, and so I doubt that I'll be in that mentality that you mentioned.
Now he sounds like he's leaving the door open just to let the doors ajar, my friends. I don't think the Bengals are catching any breaks on that front. The Steelers are going to go for it. It probably is the right move for Tomlin, given what's going on with his team right now. I do think momentum is a thing. They got to get on the right pace because their whole season will be judged on what they do wild card weekend. You don't want to free fall into the playoffs, and there's things that can still gain if the Ravens do take care of business against the Browns. So here's the deal. If the Steelers win, that means a matchup with the Texans, who are dealing with similar ups and downs, lack of consistency and momentum here down the stretch, while a loss could send them back into Baltimore, and they don't want that on wild card weekend. If they're going to have a chance against anyone, they need to get the offense going. They were a top 10 offense across the board over Russell Wilson's first 7 starts, as we all remember. Over this 3-game slide, I guess I'll call it, they're averaging almost 100 fewer yards per game. 15 fewer points is crazy. That's crazy, and all of that's affected the defense too. They've been stuck on the field longer. They're giving up the most points they have in a 3-game stretch right now with these 3 losses. Not good, not the way you want to go in. We know the offense can get it done, and maybe this mini bye after Christmas gave them the reset they needed. It kind of feels like they need this win over the Bengals to have the playoff run. I do believe in momentum. I do believe it's a thing, and I don't think Tomlin's wouldn't be excited about them winning. So heading into Baltimore on a 4-game losing streak, that's very different than going into Houston after knocking out the Bengals. You see the difference there in those feelings? I do too.